You know, if we do end up getting another Nintendo Direct, I have two questions. The first question is the Nintendo Direct a partner showcase / mini Nintendo Direct, since, you know, the Nintendo Switch 2 is on the horizon, or is it a full-blown Nintendo Direct that will set up the next 6 months? Just like Nintendo usually does around this time. And you know what? Not only that, but what new Nintendo Switch games will there be? Which, by the way, if you could have any one game or random reveal, doesn't even have to be a game, at the next Nintendo Direct, what would that be? I'd honestly love to see a sneak peek of the new Pokemon game. Hey guys, it's Rob here, and welcome back to the RoboChan Show, where we take the gaming news format that channels like Spawnwood or Arlo do, add a dash of animation and some cool editing on top to bring you your gaming news, leaks, and rumors in a fresh new way. If you're new here and want to be kept up on everything gaming, make sure you subscribe to the channel and leave a like if you enjoyed the video and dislike if not. In this video, we are going to talk about the Nintendo Direct situation, how it's changed, things leading up to this point, and what I could see Nintendo doing. That is, if this Nintendo Direct leak ends up being true. As always guys, remember, especially when it comes to Nintendo Direct leaks, it could always be fake. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like, it helps the video reach more viewers when you do, and if you want to follow me on Twitter, my Twitter handle is RoboRob93. Without further delay, let's get on to the topics. So the Nintendo Switch 2 and Nintendo Directs have been pretty hot topics over the course of the last month. I've noticed ever since Nintendo confirmed that the Nintendo Switch 2 is coming and that it will be revealed in sometime between now and March, which is when the fiscal year ends. Plenty of people have been wondering if we're going to be getting a September Nintendo Direct or a Nintendo Switch 2 reveal in the fall. Or will Nintendo perhaps go a different route? Maybe the reveal for the Nintendo Switch 2 will be in October, or maybe, who knows, maybe a couple months before spring hits. But overall, the big question is, will Nintendo do a Nintendo Direct this fall? Well, going back to the beginning of this situation, the Nintendo Direct leak started from PH Brazil, a Nintendo leak source that has a pretty decent track record. The first post about the Nintendo Direct was on Family Boards about the Nintendo Direct leak for 2024, and this is what it said. According to our own Brazil, the journalist who broke the news about the 2025 Switch 2 release, Nintendo seems to have brought forward some plans regarding the Switch 2's release schedule. So keep in mind, this is from the person who leaked the information about the Nintendo Switch releasing in 2025. And that's what I meant by a pretty good track record, at least when it comes to the Nintendo Switch 2. Some presentations, he doesn't specify which ones, that were scheduled for the end of September seem to have brought forward to the next couple weeks. Now keep in mind that Nintendo usually does do a Nintendo Direct at the end of September, sometimes in the beginning, but somewhere in September we do get a Nintendo Direct that they say, hey, we're going to be setting up the next 6 months. And you know what happens in the next 6 months? Well, according to Nintendo themselves, they were going to announce it by the end of March, which is within the next 6 months, which is very exciting. But again, take it with a grain of salt, and keep in mind this isn't the update part, but this is very key information that you need to know if you haven't heard about this, especially this next part. He also says the current podcast, link below, should be one of the last before news about the Switch 2 really starts to pop up. He also adds, and this seems to be just his personal opinion, that the Switch 2's release schedule will follow more or less the same route of what we saw with the Switch 1. And I've had that opinion for a while. Again, Nintendo likes to do what they do before if it works really well, and what works really well is concurrently giving players something to do, or something to get excited for. That's why we get Nintendo Directs that set up the next 6 months, and then we get another Nintendo Direct, usually after the September Nintendo Direct around February, which is why I think what's going to happen is, more than likely, when we do get this Nintendo Switch 2 reveal, it's also going to have games that will carry us until that release of the Switch 2. What's going to be really interesting is that February Nintendo Direct, because that's before March. But anyways, lots of stuff to break down in this post. But before we get to that, there's a second development in this story, so let's go over that as well right now. Now, the one key thing about this, which is why people thought the Nintendo Direct was going to happen in the first place, is the one line that said Nintendo seems to have brought forward some plans regarding the Switch 2's release schedule. Some presentations, he doesn't specify which ones, that were scheduled for the end of September seems to have brought forward the next couple weeks. Now, we know Nintendo just had the Nintendo Museum Direct, and on face value, this seems to be what he's talking about. But what if I said that could not be the case? There's there's more Nintendo Directs to come this month. Well, it seems that could end up happening with this new update on this Nintendo Direct leak, and this is what comicbook.com has to say about it. A notable Nintendo insider has reiterated that a new Nintendo Direct should be happening relatively soon. Earlier this week, Nintendo held its latest Direct, but the presentation was not what fans expected at all. Rather than focusing on upcoming Nintendo Switch games, or perhaps reveal Switch 2, Nintendo chose to show off its new museum that's opening in Japan, which honestly I want to go to. It looks really cool, this October. Fortunately, for those who are hoping for a more traditional Nintendo Direct, it sounds like a broadcast of this type is still happening shortly. In the recent statement on Family Boards, insider PH Brazil once again suggested that a new Direct would happen before the end of this month. Previously, Brazil was one of the first claims that Nintendo was planning on a new Direct that would be happening in the coming weeks. When this presentation associated with Nintendo's museum came about, some inferred that this was the Nintendo Direct that Brazil was referring to, but instead he clarified that was not the case. This wasn't what I was talking about. The insider said about the Nintendo Direct museum, there's more coming this month. So according to this Nintendo Direct leak, the Nintendo Direct is going to be happening this month. Another bullet point to keep in mind is that part of the previous Nintendo Direct leak said things about the Nintendo Switch 2 and that we should be seeing more things in news, like hard-covered news, on the Nintendo Switch 2 pretty soon. Now, if you guys don't want the rest of this breakdown and speculation about the first part of the leak and the second part, but are interested in my response to people who say we don't need Twilight Princess and Wind Waker on the Nintendo Switch, which shockingly some people do say that. Apparently some people hate options. Click the top right corner of this video, and if not, let's continue. So if Nintendo still has a Nintendo Direct, the question is what kind of Nintendo Direct? If the leak does end up being true from PH Brazil, we know that the Nintendo Switch 2 should be being revealed very soon. Even Nintendo themselves said it was gonna be this year. Although, in all technicality, they did say by the end of the fiscal year, which does end in March, and March is in 2025, so they could very well do it in 2025 as well, but you would assume that they would do that. Reveal it before then, at least I hope so anyways. But overall, I can see a couple things happening here. The first thing that I think is a big option is Nintendo reveals the Nintendo Switch 2 this month. According to PH Brazil, this Nintendo Direct is gonna be the last bit of news drop before the Switch 2 stuff really starts up. Assuming this is true, again, take it with a grain of salt, you would think, okay, so the Nintendo Switch 2 news is gonna really ramp up after this specific spot in the year. That means they would have had to already reveal the Nintendo Switch 2 at that point. So that reveal should be very soon, and if this Nintendo Direct happens this month, the Nintendo Switch 2 reveal should be this month, I would think anyways. At least that's where my brain is going, and I really hope so, because that would be one hell of a time. And that would pretty much almost line up with when the Nintendo Switch, the first one, was revealed as well, and follows a pattern of doing what works for Nintendo. That's what they usually do. That's why you could pretty much predict any Nintendo Direct at this point, or at least used to anyways. Again, sometimes things do change things, like the pandemic or the Nintendo Switch 2. Now, the second option is we do get a September Nintendo Direct, but it just starts up the next 6 months. And this does also play into Nintendo really talking about the Nintendo Switch 2 and news drops for the Nintendo Switch 2. Maybe the Switch 2 isn't going to be revealed there. Maybe they're going to reveal games for the Nintendo Switch 2 here and there, and then they'll have their own separate Nintendo Switch 2 reveal Direct. And that could happen in October, and that's why they're doing the Nintendo Direct now. That second option seems highly unlikely though, in my opinion. It could happen, but in my opinion, I don't think that's going to happen, because at that point, why wouldn't you just wait until October and do everything in October? 1 or 2 months ain't going to really break the bank for Nintendo and isn't going to really interrupt, especially since we have games to keep us, like The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. So those are really the two options I could see happening. Make sure you guys leave your thoughts on this in the comment section below and your guesses on what you think Nintendo is going to do when it comes to the Switch 2 reveal in the next Nintendo Direct. What do you think they're going to choose? And I will see you guys in the next video. And while you're down in the comment section, or if you're still watching this video and not correcting me on my probably dumb mistake, I want to say thank you for reaching this video this far, and well, here's a cookie. For those who don't know, YouTube considers cookies potentially inappropriate for some reason, so let's spam those cookies in the comment section. I want to see pages among pages. Just go wild with cookies in the comment section. And if not, on your way out, make sure you subscribe for more videos and also have that notification bell on. And if you want to support the channel in any other way, there is my Patreon and Twitter account in the pinned comment if you're interested in those. Oh, and also have this donut if you're still sticking around for me rambling. Thanks for watching, guys, and remember, stay safe, stay charged, and have a good one.